Yeah, this is Imlitala. Well, I didn't mean to wake you up. Yeah, I didn't mean to wake you up. That's Radha Gopinath. Oh, you can probably see the small. Let's see if we can get the small ones. There we go. There's the small ones. You can see small Radha and Krishna. They're Radha Damodar. Large ones are Radha Gopinath. See if I can keep this steady, you know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu right there in the middle. And he's doing puja, so he has the door a little closed. But those deities right there, they were made by Virabhadra. Virabhadra is the son of Nityananda. Nityananda's son was Virabhadra. And he brought these deities all the way from Bengal 500 years ago. He brought two sets. One set's for this temple, and another set for the Dauji temple. It's called the Old Dauji temple. That's the Balaram that was with Radha Gopinath. You know, Radha Govinda has their Balaram, and then Radha Madan Gopal or Madan Mohan has his Dauji, and Radha Gopinath has their Dauji, and their Dauji is, all the Daujis are in separate temples because you can't have Radha Krishna and Dauji. So before they didn't have, you know, a deity of Krishna was worshipped as Radha and Krishna. But the Goswamis established a very important point that we want to see them separate so we can worship them better. We don't have to meditate. So that's the reason why this began here in Vrindavan. You know, in other places it wasn't prominent. Even Narottam Das Thakur in 1574 in his Kachari festival, he established 6 pairs of deities, but each one of them, you know, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one was Vishnu Priya and Chaitanya in one deity, and then the other 5 were all Radha and Krishna in the deity of Krishna. And one of those is actually in Gyan Gudri. In Gyan Gudri here in Vrindavan, there's a temple of one of the pairs that Narottam established. That was in about 1574. And this temple, of course, this temple was not even here when the deities of Nitai Gaur were established. But Janava Devi, she liked sitting in this area, and she also liked sitting under a tree just a little bit further down where Lord Nietzsche... Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. And he knows how to walk down the stairs. No problem. Yeah, so... Yeah. Okay, so Virabhadra, the son of... And that is right there, I think, Bhakti Saranga Swami. One is Akinchana Maharaj, and the other one's Bhakti Saranga. Okay, so back to the story here. So Nityananda, he came here also. He sat here because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat here. And then he also sat a little bit further down at the Shringar Vat, where Krishna decorated Radharani. So at that place, there's a tree that I think has already died, but in 1977, and it hadn't died. Okay, so Janava Devi, she liked sitting there. We have to imagine, there was nothing there. And she also established some Nitai Gors there, but they're skinnier. Then these are really fat little Nitai Gors. And really heavy. Yeah. And so there's a set of Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra. They are made like in the same way that you would see Vrindavan Das Thakur's Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra. They practically just look like a deity. They have those features that go along with them. They aren't the common Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra. But they're small. So she was something else. She had those deities carved in Bengal and brought them here. Also, she had Nitai Gors carved and she brought them here. She also had deities made of Radharani. I think about 2 or 3. I know 2. One went to the Madan Mohan temple. One went to the Radha Gopinath temple. And because it had come. This is the cow man. He's always taking care of the cows. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, you guys. Yeah, so you always have to remember these places were not temples. These places where deities stood on stones. Yeah, they stood on stones for quite a long time. They weren't in a proper temple. This temple was built by Sakhi Charan Das Babaji. Sakhi Charan Das Babaji, of course, he was a disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, so you can imagine, 500 years ago until about 1920s. Until about the 1920s, there was no official temple here. And Sakhi Charan, he built a temple here. And of course, it's been decorated and everything. Yeah. Adi. Yeah, I like coming here. And so, Janava Devi, just to bring it back, she likes sitting here. She likes sitting over at Shringarvat. So, you can imagine how many deities there are there. There's a Narayan deity there. She didn't bring that one. But, cows laying out. Yeah. Baby. Yeah. Oh, good night. Good night. Yeah. So, it's just so nice to understand what was going on back then. There's a lot of other things to see, but it's time's running out, and it's time for breakfast. And you can't miss breakfast. Yeah, okay. But you get a clear picture, These deities, how were they brought up? They were brought up by the river. You come up the river Gangas, and then you, at Triveni, you split, and you come up the Yamuna. And there's a bathing ghat, a famous bathing ghat. And at that point, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he bathed there. And it's written down that he bathed there. Some people wonder, did he really come here? Well, go to the bathing ghat and you'll see his name there. And he certainly did come here. So that was the easiest way, because going through the forest, you'd always get lost. So everybody just goes Triveni, splits, and you come up the Yamuna. And so that's how most of transportation was being done, especially because there's so many crooks hiding in the forest. So they just would bring it up by the riverside. Yeah. But you can imagine trying to bring that up the river. You're fighting the current all the way up. Okay. I was hoping he'd open the other side, but it looks like he's not opening it yet. Okay, I don't want to spoil his puja or anything. So we'll leave it at that. Let's see, is there anything else, Janava Devi? Okay, sometimes there's some discrepancy because it took Janava Devi so long to make the deities of Radharani. Radharani appeared to her, and she said she wanted to be next to the Madan Mohan deity, and also she said she wanted to be next to the Radha Gopinath deity. But by the time she got up here, they decided, okay, one of these deities, because they had already made a Radharani. So when it did arrive, they said, what we'll do is one of the deities will be Lalita. So in Madan Mohan temple, one of the lady deities is Lalita and the other one Radharani. And then the one in Radha Gopinath is also Janava Devi. So they loved Janava Devi so much that they said, okay, we will worship her as Janava Devi. And many of us worship her as, I'm tired, the sister of Radharani. Yeah. So in that way, and you can find reference that actually Janava Devi and the sister of Radharani are the same. Ananga Manjari. Yeah. Okay. So much. And Janava Devi was incredible. She would bring people here. You know. Of course, there was many people that protected her as she journeyed here. Now, you should read the journey of hers, because in the journey sometimes the dacoits tried to do something, but then all of a sudden they had to just come to Janava Devi and ask for forgiveness. So, you know, but she did have many people around her to protect her. Yeah. Okay.